second, and a boom.
2, 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, are you feeling Ucey tonight? Because I know I am. This is Jabronis United, the only wrestling show you should be watching outside of the stuff on cable on your Wednesday nights. And I say that with much love and respect to everyone else out there in YouTube land and across the internet. But still, that's us. I am your host, the realer deal, Ryan O'Regan. With me, as always, as the sniper, Kyle Krieger. Throw up them guns, son. There you go. And back again this week is Major Day Boosie, who is
Just say Major
throwing
Day,
up a finger. Say again?
That's a finger, all right.
the one.
You are not the one. Obviously, you are not the one.
No, I'm not saying that as I am the one. I'm throwing it up in honor of Jay Uso.
Yes, main event Jey Uso, who is back in the world of wrestling for the moment. We will get into him as well as a lot of other stuff right now. But yeah, it's pretty much been a packed week of wrestling. And guys, I know we had some predictions, which we will actually get to more predictions later on in this episode. But just right off the bat, I did want to go ahead and confirm. Kyle, you have the records of how we've done so far as AEW All In.
I do.
AEW All Out, and Payback.
Mm-hmm.
So, where do we currently stand?
Well, so I was gonna say I do not have the ability to show my happy little spreadsheet. So
you can still share screens, right?
Oh right, I can I? Sorry, give me a moment. Give me a moment. Give me a moment. I'm sorry. Shut up. Leave me alone.
All right. Never.
All right, sharing
but
my
here's
screen.
the thing. I already know I did badly because at least a good portion of the first two pay-per-views, being Payback and All In, I kind of screwed the pooch on that.
I don't know, guys. I really don't know.
All right, so here is the magical spreadsheet of all of our predictions. So, as you see, I have it split up between AEW and WWE for the pay-per-views. So,
okay, you can zoom in if you want.
I can. Where's my magic? Where's my magic zoom? I'm sorry, it's been a long day and I'm just ready to just fall asleep. Yep, so that's where's the plus? Nope, that don't work. You know what? Screw it. We're just leaving it this because right now my shortcut keys aren't working and I'm not really wanting to fight with Excel right now. So, or Open Office. So, as you can see, we have All In and All Out for 2023. We actually did pretty decently throughout both of them. Mm-hmm. But as you can see from All Out right here, and why is this popping up? Yeah, so we have let's go with we'll just go down the list. For the tag titles, we had Aussie Open versus BTY Bebe. BTY won, and as you can see, Davian and I got it correct, while Ryan went with Aussie Open. So, yeah. What made you choose Aussie Open in that one?
Because I like them, and I didn't think that... I thought they might draw like a little bit more ire if they lost the match and didn't get the belts, and that would add confrontation to the match later in the night. But anyway, unfortunately, we don't have the time to go through all the matches.
Yes. All right. So in that case, let's sum up. Well, for me, the only ones I missed were the FTW title, where I picked Jack Perry over Hook. Golden Elite lost to Bullet Club Gold, unfortunately, and I also picked Blackpool Combat Club and Young Bucks in their respective matches. No dice. But I still came out with 7 out of 11. Likewise, Davion, you also finished 7 out of 11, only missing Golden Elite, Jericho, Young Bucks, and Adam Cole. So we tied that one.
Correct.
While Ryan, unfortunately, came in last place on this one with only 4 out of 11, getting only Hook, CM Punk, The Acclaimed, and Bullet Club Gold correct. But as of note, he was the only one who picked Bullet Club Gold in that match. So kudos on that one. So
sometimes you gotta let the bad guy win. But as for the overall standings, since we are going to be having another pay-per-view this weekend that we're going to put predictions on, where do we stand overall?
In overall for AEW, I am in the lead with 17 correct out of 23 total. Davion, since you did not pick anything for Sheeta and Sheeta, Willow, Sky Blue, I just marked that as a null. So right now you're 14 out of 22. And Ryan, you are just behind him at 13 of 23 in the overall standings for AEW.
Okay, so that's pretty good. Not too bad. I'm last place, sure. Okay, fine. But that may change after this weekend, and we will get to that a little later on tonight. Yep, so thank you, Kyle, for going ahead and keeping that up to date with us.
Your all-out predictions were really good. You got 9 out of 12 on that one.
Who?
Ryan.
Well, I mean, it makes sense because if you have the certain people on All In and then you bring them to a pay-per-view the very next weekend, there's very few chances that people are going to lose twice, 2 times in a row on big stages like that. So it's like, okay, they got that one in London, so now they're going to get the other one in Chicago.
That is true.
It makes sense when you think of it from a business standpoint. So this way, everyone kind of gets a little bit of happiness.
And for WWE-wise, I will say that one, there was only 6 matches. I'm in the lead at 5 of 6 correct. The only one I missed was that I picked Austin Theory like an idiot. And
why would you pick Austin Theory?
Because I thought with Vince back in charge of creative, even though you think Triple H is in charge, he's not.
Yeah.
He's not with Vince back. So, yeah, I thought that would be back with the forced push on that, but nope, Mysterio won that one. So I missed the perfect card by 1 match. So I'm in the lead for WWE, 5 out of 6. Day, you are 2 out of 6, and Rye, you are 4 out of 6.
Okay.
So,
which is understandable. And yes, Tyler, we are going to be doing Impact Victory Road, which happens in White Plains, New York, later on this weekend on Saturday. Which obviously we don't talk about Impact often enough, but we will get to that later after we go through Dynamite and everything.
Right.
First and foremost, we do have to go ahead and talk about a couple of other things in the world of wrestling. Primarily, Raw is Ucey, man. Now it is Ucey because we have Jey Uso, main event Jey Uso, back in the running as far as a singles competitor now, as opposed to his time with his brother Jimmy and part of the Bloodline. It's fair to say the Bloodline has probably been the most captivating story in WWE as of late, although that has now kind of simmered down with Roman Reigns being out of sight. And now we have Jimmy as like the confrontational issue over on SmackDown between him and what's remaining of the Bloodline, and I guess maybe AJ Styles. I'm not sure. But what are your thoughts of someone like Jey Uso now being a singles competitor? They've worked it up to that point, but do you think he has what you can have to be a singles competitor?
Yes. I will say yes, but as a mid-carder.
Okay, so you don't think he's ready for like top title stuff, even though he did put him against Roman for the belt in his last big pay-per-view event.
Nah.
But then they went LOL Reigns wins again.
Well, yeah, they're going to do that for whatever unforeseeable amount of time they're going to.
Yeah, like Jimmy, he's a sell.
It's like,
I mean, Jay is a sell. Jimmy is.
Yeah, you know what? it's like the thing is that they were built up as the tag team duo for so long.
Mm-hmm.
They had the gimmick going. So it's right now it is hard to see him as a singles competitor, but if they book him well, sure, he could bring the toughness, he could bring the attitude. He could definitely come into his own as his own character.
Right.
But right now it just feels like and not only that, as much as cool as nice as the return was, it's like he was gone for a whole 2 weeks. That's really just like really there's like no build up of being gone. It's like you barely even knew he was gone. You thought he was just okay, he's just not on the show for 2 weeks. All right, he'll be back soon. And it's like triumphant return. That's 2 weeks isn't enough time to be a triumphant return.
I will say this. Jey Uso, he got the spark, he got the momentum, he got the fans on his side. I could see him kind of holding Raw in a sense. Like I could see him holding Raw on his shoulders or carrying Raw.
But I can tell there's a but there.
Yeah, but from what the rumors are saying, that the trade offer was Jey Uso for Cody Rhodes.
Which I'm perfectly fine with.
I'm fine with it, but it's just the fact that we know Cody Rhodes was supposed to basically face Roman Reigns. So, yes, hopefully Cody Rhodes wins that title off of Roman Reigns so Roman Reigns can actually take his break and rest up and do movies from what they're saying.
Or, leukemia stuff,
Yeah. But what will happen with the bloodline with Jimmy and Solo Sikoa? Like,
could be.
What will happen? Like, are they going to be a tag team? Are they going to do push for singles? Solo was bred to be a singles competitor.
Solo Cup Sikoa?
Yeah. Jimmy, I see him more as a mid-carder because he got a lot more to grow than his brother does. Jay on Raw, I could see him feuding with a couple of big-time wrestlers and pulling off the whole Roman Reigns gimmick. But he does have his own personality, which I love. And the fans love it. So it's a good move from Jay that they moved on to Raw. So he could develop his own gimmick, which he already has, and become main event. So I'm going to say Jay is going to make a huge impact in Raw.
I'm hoping so. I'm hoping... Now, obviously, it would be lightning in a bottle if we said, oh, this is just like the Rockers and, he's the new Shawn Michaels. But,
that's what I was thinking about, too.
Yeah, but I think drawing that comparison is probably apples and oranges because Jay has yet to establish himself with any kind of individual characteristic that isn't just an angry Uce. Once he actually goes ahead and develops himself beyond simply just being main event Jey Uso, like show us why you should be main event. Have that charisma, have that showmanship, do something that's going to make the name matter.
All right,
I'll believe it.
I think I know what they're going to do, and it's a smart move.
Oh, hold on. I do have to just go ahead and share this for us right now.
Yes.
From Faded here. You're doing great with your stream. I just gave you a follow. Could you by chance follow back, please? Thank you. If not, okay. Yes, I'm a real person. Yes, I'm a real streamer. I'm not a bot and not or trying to spam. Keep up the amazing work.
Thank you.
Send for the man.
Dude, we never hear much enough from Twitch, man. Twitch people, yeah, go ahead, come on in.
Yes.
Talk with us if you want to. And yes, we will follow back.
Definitely.
Just hold on. Let me take a picture of that because that's a lot of eyes, and I don't know if I'm going to miss one or not. Well, and yeah, I know I could screen grab, but I'm too far away from the keyboard.
Yeah.
What's wrong, Kyle? Why are you holding your head?
Usually, if they say I'm a real person, they aren't.
You never know. You never know. But still,
send for the man.
I don't know about that.
It's legit. It sounds legit. I think.
But against who? I mean, maybe after he loses the belt, but not while he has it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, is he going to be a face versus Cody? No.
Exactly.
Right, but
it's like,
I mean, as far
it's
as
like
Solo
unless they
being
somehow
heel, I mean,
flip the roles somehow, which I don't. I'm sure they can, but it's probably going to be half-assed if they do.
right,
Like
but then
right
the question
now,
is also going to come in. Okay, if Roman and Solo start having their issues, where does that put Jimmy? See, this is what I'm
exactly.
talking
It's
about.
like,
Especially, it's especially harder with twins because you have to find such a way to stand out. The only way I was able to finally figure out who Jimmy and Jay were recently was the haircuts. When they all had like the super long hair and everything, and they were doing like the tribal Polynesian thing, I could not tell who's who. See, even CM Punk doll is a little upset by this. It got so bad, but thank God he has like his little
but
I
the
don't
other
know
thing
what you
is,
even call that. Is that like a Roman?
I don't know. I
It's
really
like
don't know.
part Roman cut, part mullet. It's a rollet.
It's a roll.
He's wearing a rollet.
But here's the thing. It's like, yeah, if he has a face run as champion, you, can you really do this much of a heel run and not have him lose the title? Like if he goes face, that's going to be just such a friggin' force feed.
Yeah.
That's why people couldn't stand Roman Reigns originally, because he was like being a force fed face run. And
Right.
yeah, he had the good vibes when he came back from the cancer treatment, which good. I still say good for him,
Yeah.
but it's like you can't have him do all this and then get off scot free and switch to being a face.
Yeah,
Like
no.
it's
It
like
rarely doesn't
that
happen that
is
quickly unless
that
they're a
is
tweener.
yeah. It's like, pardon my French. That is shitty booking. It's
Now, just
shitty
in
booking
comparison,
and just rancid with Vince force feed.
exactly.
Hell, he's already being force fed. He's just being force fed on TV for the infinite title run that he's on, and it's like I don't want to watch him anymore.
No,
I'm
but
done.
the thing is, you
I've
have to
been
look
done
at.
with Reigns since before WrestleMania at this point.
Yeah, a lot of people have.
Yeah,
I'm
the
so
thing is,
done with
whether
it.
people like you or hate you, it has to be homegrown in order for it to have any kind of shelf life. Say, for example, the Judgment Day, who are right now top of the world.
Belts for everybody,
Everyone's got a strap.
which is
You've
great. I
got
like that.
Damien with the Money in the Bank. He got a new one on Monday that's all nice and purple that says Senor. So I mean that's proper.
Yep.
And that's all homegrown.
Yeah.
You know, from what was originally an Edge pseudo Undertaker gimmick is now probably the best thing that's running in place
Yeah.
of the Bloodline.
Absolutely. I find them way more intriguing than the Bloodline. And you know what? It's like, if, as you said, it is a natural. It's a natural reaction. It's like they built a fan base out of it. Even if they're booked that way, sure, but they're booking them correctly. They're booking them well, and the reactions have been, all right, now I'm actually emotionally invested in them.
Right.
I'm not just being force fed. It's like, oh, Roman's on the screen, 5,000 more minutes for another 20 weeks of title holding. It's like, no, it's like, yes, put the belts on your hottest item. Put the belts on the people that the fans want to see, and they're doing that correctly with Judgment Day.
Right. Now, Jeff, to your
For now.
point about
Of
Roman with the
course.
title, what the company wants and what the people want are always going to be two different things. And
Not
whether or not
always,
he's going to
but
pass
usually.
Hogan's reign, I don't know, nor do I care. I mean,
They probably will,
Hogan's already
because
kind of like soured his own popularity. So if they pass Hogan's reign, I don't think too many people are going to be upset. But I also don't think it's really going to happen with somebody like that either.
No.
On the touch of passing
Touch
Reigns,
shit.
though, sorry, I don't mean Roman Reigns. I mean like actual Reigns. You
Title
also
reigns.
have Gunther now passing the Honky Tonk Man's reign as Intercontinental Champion. And mind you, Honky Tonk has had this title reign of his however many days are now. He had that for roughly like 30 to 35 years.
Jeez. But then that was also at a time when you didn't have wrestling literally every week or literally every day. Yeah, you had house shows and whatnot, but it's like you're not gonna. It's like yeah, you have the title, but you're not gonna lose it to some schmo in Biloxi that they paid you to come play a match to come have a match in. That it was a different time back then. Like those absurd title reigns, like the San Martino title reign is absurd. The Bob Backlund title reign, that stuff is not going to. That stuff at least should not be broken in today's world. Where if you try that, people will stop watching. Hell, people have already stopped watching thanks to what they're doing with Reigns.
Right.
Walter. See, there you go, Jeff. Yes, Walter. Not Gunther. Walter.
Bring back Walter. Bring back Walter, man.
But here's the thing. I will call him Gunther. You want to know why? Because they acknowledged it in ring. It's like, okay, we have this, but I am making this name my own. So they did a very good job with that. Man. It wasn't just a flat out, oh, these are now the Viking. Now this is now the Viking experience. No, they flat out acknowledged it. They accepted it. All right, this is the past. This is who I am now, and I am making this mine. I like that. And they did the same. Like, you want to know who else did something similar to that?
Who?
Chris Jericho with the List of Jericho. Like in the ring, he acknowledged it, and he even says, "Like that's the past. This is what I am now. This is what I'm going to make my own now." And you know what? He took it, he ran with it, and he made it his own. So you know what? I will acknowledge him as Gunther because he did exactly what you need to do when the fans are trying to hijack that.
Hey guys,
regardless of what you call the man, the fact of the matter is, he is somebody that obviously the company has wanted to push as this dominant champion.
Right.
And instead of it really souring on a lot of people of how Gunther still has the belt to this day, because I know a lot of people were wanting Chad Gable to have it on Monday, the fact that Walter has been able to give such a great performance every time that's been asked of him, that's the molding of the two ideas that you want. You want someone who has homegrown heat or popularity, which with Gunther's dominance, without even needing Imperium in the wings, he has proven that he is that capable of an athlete, whether it's Sheamus, whether it's Drew McIntyre, and whether it's Chad.
And his matches are good.
This is an idea that the company is pushing to hold on to beat this record, even while Honky Tonk Man is still alive. I mean, I always figure you do that when someone dies, so this way it's like you don't have to worry about any backlash or anything like that. But considering Honky Tonk's had this for like 35 years, it's time. You're good. Do that. Absolutely. You know, it shows that everyone on Raw and probably SmackDown, WWE is eating well right now.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the people that they want to go over and the people that the fans want to go over are all getting their time to shine.
Right.
Now, we do have to move on to our next topic because...
before we do.
Yes?
I do agree that the reign, like the whole Jericho comment, because Kyle, you just made the list.
You made the list of KO.
Okay.
That was another fantastic storyline segment. The Jericho KO Festival of Friendship was probably easily one of my top 3 segments in TV on TV. Like non-pay-per-view segments. Festival of Friendship was wonderful.
Yes, it was awesome.
It had everything building up to it. It had payoff. It wasn't just okay, we're going to hold this now till the next one. No, it was the chef's kiss of pay-per-view setups. end of turns and betrayals.
Yes.
Now,
they even destroyed the potted plant.
Now, as somebody who's not eating so well right now and probably needs to go on unemployment.
Oh, Punky Brewster.
Yeah, we try to be positive for the first part of the show, but let's get to the meat and potatoes of what really happened this past weekend.
The meat and potatoes.
I want to say this for your comment.
Punk because here's the thing. Jeff already had this up early. We know what Jeff thinks about Punk. So I wanted to go ahead and show and get that out now, but
I'm going to say
so CM
Punk is living. He's eating. He's good.
Yeah, he could be set for the rest of his life, even after losing all those MMA matches.
Right.
He still made a mint out of it. He could pay for his injuries. But it's like, well, like I've said it before and I'll say it again. Yes, the guy is a draw, especially in Chicago.
Yes. Right.
But he will bring a milk truck of drama behind him.
Facts. But you need somebody like that on your show.
Yes and no. You could do that with anyone without the baggage.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of,
but
is it really worth it?
But you got to think about who it is. Because there are wrestlers behind scenes where you don't hear nothing about drama, but it was drama, and they kept it hush-hush. With CM Punk, he brings the drama, but people's talking.
That's true. It's like, it brings up the point of any publicity is good publicity
exactly.
But is it really worth it? Because remember, they fired him literally like a day before they started their shows in Chicago. I can guarantee you a lot of those fans bought tickets because they thought that he would be there or at least pop back up, even after all the drama that happened after All In. It's like, it's a matter of at what point is it not worth it anymore? And honestly, I think he definitely crossed that, and he should have been and I do agree with the firing. So it's like
I agree with it, but at the same time, I don't agree. I take that back.
Well, there's Pepsi in here.
Not happy with you, Kyle.
There's Pepsi in here. Enjoy.
I'm going to say this. We don't know the full story of what happened.
Not yet, no.
Yeah, because we don't know who was at fault. I did saw a shot of words that came on when that what's his name, Jungle Boy versus Hook. Well, Jack Perry, because they don't want to be referred as Jungle Boy. And
Jackie
Hook,
Perry.
Yeah, but it was a big discussion about landing a spot on actual real glass. CM Punk told him not to do it.
Yes, it was a situation that both parties were in the wrong. Absolutely. Right. And as such, Perry got suspended, and rightfully so. So it's like, even when it's not necessarily his fault, his reaction to that caused it to be his fault. So it's like he made like, he was not in the wrong at first, and then he became in the wrong with his reaction to it. And that's the problem with the guy. Like, he doesn't control his he doesn't control his responses.
Part of it, I think,
be an adult.
Who you talking about? CM Punk, right?
Yeah. Well, both of them.
But
they both need to grow the hell up.
Yeah. But you know what? It's not just CM Punk. It's every wrestler behind the scenes. There's wrestlers that like their friends. There's wrestlers that don't.
There's drama. Always drama.
And MJF was the biggest drama person in AEW because when he was at New York Comic Con, he liked
He stayed in character.
Yeah, but sometimes that's not good at times because I was put in a spotlight and I didn't even know because it was an incident that happened between me and him.
Oh, yes, this famous incident again.
Would you like to refresh the audience?
So, I'm at New York Comic Con walking,
Mind you, this is about MJF, not about Punk or Perry, people.
Right. It's MJF, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm sorry. But it's like similar situation. I'm minding my own business, looking around, ambiance, because it's the pandemic era, and I'm just, seeing how things are. I get this loud, why are you looking at me? Why are you looking at me? And I'm looking around like, who the heck, who's saying that out loud? And then when I turned, NJF is looking at me like, yeah, why are you looking at me? I was like, okay, I'm not looking at you. Like, weirdo. I was like, first off, I don't even know you.
But did he know you?
And that's what I was about to say. Like, would you like to get to know me? Because trust and believe, I'm not a wrestler, but I am a mixed martial artist.
Maybe he mistook you for someone else and just rolled with it?
It wasn't a good look.
No, it doesn't sound like it.
Because people, like, at his booth and everything were like, oh, God. Oh, God. Why are you starting?
Yeah, so it's like, he may have thought you were someone else at first. And then when he realized that you weren't who he thought, he just was like, all right, I'm just going to keep going with it just because that's his character. So that's what it sounds like it probably would be, because I don't think he would just pick a random person in Comic-Con to pick a fight with that wasn't already interacting with him.
All right. Okay, gentlemen, I hate to bring us back to topic, but I don't want any people coming in to get confused about who we're talking about here.
Right, we're going back to CM Punk.
Well, before we get into Dynamite Aftermath, which it is after the 10 o'clock hour, and we will be getting onto that very shortly, I do want to go ahead and put my own point out there regarding Punk, since I've let these two guys and Jeffrey skewer him for a good while.
Wait, I didn't skewer him. I like CM Punk.
I like the guy too. I just don't like what he did. And he's been a source of drama.
Right, okay, but here's the thing. Let me play devil's advocate just for a second.
Okay.
All right. As far as CM Punk is concerned, you are talked to by Tony Khan. You have been out of wrestling for years. People have been clamoring for your return after your exit from WWE. And you're given this bill of goods, whether it be false or not, to come and work at this new promotion with this fresh young talent, with people you've never worked before, with a certain amount of clout. Mm-hmm. And to an extent, at the beginning, he probably had that. But Tony Khan, while he may be a great businessman in some aspects, he has shown himself to not be the strongest leader of AEW as far as, being a Vince-type character or even a Triple H-type character. And when you look at who the executive vice presidents are in the Young Bucks and Omega we can probably put to the side, but the Young Bucks are some petty, childish bullshit. So Punk has not necessarily been working in, let's say, the most coercive environment. Outside of all the Punk drama, we have seen drama with other wrestlers in AEW. Whether it be Sammy Guevara, whether it be Alberto El Idolo, whether it be, what's his face, Eddie Kingston. It's a lot of people will joke about how this has like the airs of WCW, but when you hear about this sort of stuff, when back in the day it was all back and no one ever really heard about it until after the fact, it's hard not to draw a comparison. There needs to be a tighter leash on what goes on in AEW, so that stuff like Punk and Perry does not happen, or at least is squashed from the get-go. And yes, while Punk may not have handled things the best way, Perry also did go into business for himself with that little statement that he had on the biggest wrestling event of all time. Even if it was the 0-hour pre-show, he still went ahead and called Punk out for that moment.
Yeah,
you just don't do that. You are taking a stick to the hornet's nest. So yes,
the thing is, you shouldn't be a hornet's nest.
Well,
you don't need to be.
It depends, because if you're known for doing it and you bring ratings, then guess what? Some people overlook that and keep you
Well,
because
okay. First, just let me check on Jeff here. To be fair, Jeff, if he calls out the Bucks and Omega, that makes sense. They are executive vice presidents. They have more of a pull in the company because they are the ones that founded it. But as such, they should also not be so single and selfish minded. They should think more about the well being of the company rather than just what they want. And that was always an issue when people thought about, oh, these wrestlers are going to start their own company. They're going to make themselves the main attractions and the stars and bury everybody else for their own benefit. And you
There are
cannot
ways
say
to
that
go
there have
about
not been instances in AEW to draw to those conclusions. As far as Paige, I mean, Paige is boring, but does he deserve the kind of shout out
wow,
that he does when
wow,
Punk
wow,
does it?
wow.
Probably not. But then again, I don't think his association with the elite helps his matters either. So Punk is a very tempered man. He does a lot of good work. He does in the ring and just as philanthropic, he does a lot of good things. So for people to go ahead and shit on Punk when he is probably in one of the most disadvantageous positions that any wrestler could possibly be in, I have to personally feel sorry for him. I know Jeff and a lot of other people won't feel the same way, but you know what? If you were in his situation, could you really say that you would do better? Honestly,
if I was in that situation,
if
I
you
think
were in Punk's
I
situation with
could,
everything he's
yeah.
had to go through,
It varies because you can't say what you could
Yeah.
do and what I can do. Everybody is not the golden boy or the person that could tolerate disrespect or rudeness. You can't really say, "Oh, I can handle this."
Jeff is just going to be a conscientious objector.
All right,
But I
A
mean, I also
rage
have to feel bad.
wall.
but
Rage wall.
besides the botches, realistically, we can't put ourselves in someone else's shoes, because what I may do, you may do, may not be what CM Punk will do.
Right. So
Like,
we, as much as we
personally,
could
I
say
would be
we
a
probably would have
cooler
done
head.
better, we also could have done worse.
You
Mhm.
know,
Yeah, I do agree. Knowing my personality and how I usually go about things, I could generally keep a cooler head, but it's like I'm not in that position. So would I
exactly.
keep my cooler head? I'd hope I do.
You know, like
But
all
would
of
that
us
lead
hope
to a
we
better result? I don't know. But I
Exactly.
personally though, I do think that there could have been a better response to what it, because
right.
all he had to do was to, like, I think it, what was the word? Oh,
Well,
right.
who knows? We
What
may
was the
see
phrase?
a better
Walk
response.
away. That's all he had to do, was walk away from a confrontation.
But
Well,
no, because you got to understand, you got to look at it this way. When you're in the locker room, you are looked at as the main, you're looking at the locker room leader. And 9 times out of 10, some people are trying to have that representation of locker room leader.
Is it the last time though?
yeah, possibly not, Jeff, because it has been stated. I mean, lots of people have talked about whether or not Punk would go back to WWE. I mean, Vince will never say no to money,
NJPW.
but who knows? Um, Now, it has been stated that New Japan Pro Wrestling does not have any intent of going
Mhm.
and seeing if CM Punk wants to join up with them, simply because of their orientation with AEW, that working buddy that they have for themselves. So that's understandable.
Mhm.
But if there was a place that would be necessary to have someone like Punk, it probably would be Impact Wrestling. They have
It could
gone
be.
on, according to Ringside News here. Impact has said that they would be super excited about having Punk over on their brand, as long as they could actually afford him. Now, the thing is,
That's the other thing.
since he was fired with cause, that means any money that was still left on his contract, he ain't getting. And if he also has a non-compete clause for a certain amount of time, that means he cannot wrestle anywhere and he cannot get money from wrestling, period. So that may be enough to push him off the edge and be like, you know what? I don't want to bother with
He
this
goes
industry
back to
anymore.
MMA.
But, well, I mean, whether or not he goes back to MMA, that's his own, prerogative.
Yeah,
but if he is to stay in wrestling and he has a non-compete for, say, like 6 months up to a year, and he's not getting any of the money remaining on his contract from AEW, hopefully he has enough saved up at the moment. Who knows?
Oh, he does. He absolutely
does.
And Jeff,
between him
nice.
and AJ Lee, yeah.
Well, we'll get to Impact in a little bit because while we don't talk about Impact enough, we will be talking about their upcoming pay-per-view Victory Road. But before we get to that,
We don't talk about Impact.
Wait. We can talk about Impact stuff.
We don't talk about.
We'll talk about Impact in due time. But right now, it is that time of the day when we have our show. It is after the 10 o'clock hour, well after the 10 o'clock hour, to make sure that the television actually turned off this time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's time for AEW Dynamite Aftermath, where we go ahead and review Dynamite fresh off of the television. And I now have a particular little cue card for this too, so this way it looks more official when we're talking about it. And so let me go ahead and bring that up.
Yes, because I did the last special. 3 weeks. It's all you.
So there you go. Aftermath. It was a little rush job, but I like it.
No theme music?
I didn't work a video, man. I did this.
Should I break out the kazoo?
If you want to. If you can do the theme song and the kazoo, then by all means go ahead and do so.
Nope. No.
I didn't
I'd rather sing it and then break everyone's ears, and then everyone will tune right on out.
Yeah, now how did they open the show tonight? That's what I'm curious about. I know a couple of things that went on because, mind you, this is all coming off the heels of AEW All Out. And, yeah, I know at the beginning of the show, they did have Moxley defending his new international championship against AR Fox.
Of all people, yeah.
Well, I mean, good for him considering he wasn't really able to participate in like the 2 big pay-per-views that have happened in the past couple of weeks. So at least Fox is now being given a little time to shine.
But as you saw in the match, he got jobbed out. And that seems to be what AR Fox is being used as in AEW, as we've seen in the past few weeks. And they could have had anyone else job to Moxley to give him a win. Why did it have to be AR Fox?
Well, I know he had some issues with why he wasn't able to go over to All In, and I think that might have rubbed some people the wrong way. So this was kind of like retribution. But at least he is still sticking by with Darby Allin. So it's not like they're throwing him back over to Swerve and the Mogul Embassy or anything like that. They're pretty much sticking him with Darby and Nick, who were pretty much like the main attraction of tonight's Dynamite.
But the thing is, they didn't really give Fox any offense at all in this match.
They really didn't.
It was a squash match, which you don't see too often in AEW, at least not with John frickin' Moxley. It's just, and they do it to AR Fox. That makes me really, really sad. But yeah, I mean, as Jeff mentioned, legal trouble. So I guess I can understand why he's being used that way. Doesn't mean I agree with it.
Exactly.
Right. I mean, it kind of makes you wonder what they're going to do to Cash Wheeler if that's the case.
Old FT Revolver.
Right. But Orange opened up the show. Pretty much was told to go home. He said he was staying around, and even though now Orange isn't going to be the stalwart champion that he has been for this, this whole time holding the international title. The fact he's still going to be a staple of AEW instead of just like being relegated to the background, I'm happy about that. I know some people aren't fans of Orange and his routine, but again, kind of like how Jeff is saying, he's basically being given the Jey Uso treatment. Although I would say Orange had a much bigger start regarding his solo career than Jey Uso did. Only because, even before he had the belt, he was just that lovable beach bum kind of guy.
He had the most intense kicks in history.
Right.
Yes, absolutely. And he did it without the hands out or anything. His balance, uncanny.
Stuff that most people would get arrested for.
Yes,
but
yes, we are taking the piss out of him in that sense. Yes. But still, outstanding that he's able to get over with that sort of stuff.
I do think it is kind of funny because he's probably going to say, "I do not have a catchphrase" each week, and that will become his catchphrase because that's probably exactly what he's going to be using. Yes, that's going to be hilarious.
As far as like I was saying, as far as the AR Fox, Darby Wayne, Nick Wayne sort of stuff, yeah, Nick Wayne and Darby Allin really got pushed to the forefront here, especially with the Grand Slam Championship stuff going on, and them having to have a match against each other as your main event. Mm-hmm. And I have been speculative as to this whole, okay, Nick Wayne is Darby's Darby Allin. Basically, it's like, Darby's taking over the Sting role and doing it for Nick.
Mm-hmm.
But Nick really is a very competent wrestler. And I think that is being roughly overshadowed simply because he's among this grander storyline. But now he's actually getting a little time to shine, and it's well deserved.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So I do like what they're doing with that, and that having Allin now basically try to be basically being the one who's checking on Fox. So we're probably going to be seeing that angle come through. Even though I'm surprised they had Allin in the show tonight, because I thought he was supposedly recovering. But then again, he wasn't in the match, so they just gave him the TV spot, and that's it. So, which is fine.
Right, but I mean, I do like that they're at least pushing this idea that there's this like little conglomerate, especially if it's going to be going up specifically against someone like Christian and Luchasaurus, who, they have their belt, and obviously Darby has some history with that TNT title himself.
Right.
So it's nice that they're trying to keep that together. Really, they are just shaping up things for the foreseeable future as far as things going on with rivalries. You've got Samoa Joe aiming for MJF, which perfect.
Oh yeah, no, I do like how they're keeping Joe in the in like the main event picture. I love that.
Right, but they're obviously adding an extra element to this whole Adam Cole MJF thing, because now that they've established, okay, we love these two guys. They love each other. They're friends. They hug it out great. Now we need another combustible element outside of Roderick Strong, who actually poses a real threat as opposed to simply being annoying.
Because no one takes Roderick Strong seriously.
No, but they take Joe seriously as hell.
At least not in this thing. It's like, yeah, he keeps popping up and then he just gets flat out ignored. It's great.
Yo, wow. Yo, that was funny.
It's like, enough is enough, and it's time for a change.
And you sit there, you look at Roger Strong, and you're like, all right, in other news, yeah.
It's just that neck brace thing, man. It was funny when it was on like Bobby the Brain Heenan back in the day, but now it's like, come on, man.
Roderick not so strong.
Roderick weak.
Yep. But yeah, so as we move on
from other news, ladies and gentlemen.
In other news.
Yeah.
Breaking news.
Wait. Roger Strong be like, wait, y'all not gonna ignore me? Like, I'm like, oh yeah, so about that time again. About Orange Cassidy.
Oh no. Well, anyway.
Right. We also got
we had Chris
set up for Hangman Page. Seems like he's going to be going up against Swerve and Mogul Embassy, which
could be good.
I like that they're putting Swerve up against him, only because for someone like Page and the way he was being pushed at the beginning of AEW's lineage, he was pretty much being posted up as the Golden Boy. And he has fallen from grace.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what made Punk shooting on him kind of entertaining, because it's like, Punk's not wrong. So now you have to have someone else who's going to be able to get under people's skin, but also sound legit in what they're saying. And Swerve can do that.
Oh, absolutely. And honestly, that whole segment with Hangman Page, I thought was done perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you had the emotion, you had the mic work, you had basically everything you needed to make a good to make a good to make it like a good segment. That he even acknowledged that he was in a coffin for almost 2 weeks. It's like, all right, you're acknowledging the previous match results. You're keeping things going. It's like you're not just taking a loss and then completely sweeping it under the rug. All right, no, you know what? You acknowledge it. I dig that. I really do. So it's like, you know what? I like that. I really yeah.
Right. So if there's going to be possibly anything that can bring Adam back to prominence, I think this would be it. Not necessarily being co-buddy with Omega or hanging out with the Elite. It's being able to show that he can stand on his own against someone who can verbally and physically be a threat to him, and not just one or the other.
Mm-hmm.
So if Adam wants to go ahead and get himself like back up to the top, Swerve is the guy to do it.
Yeah. And he has the chops. Yeah. He absolutely does. I mean, he has more of the chops than Roderick Strong does.
Oh my god. But yeah.
But then again, do you want to know who was worse than Roderick Strong?
Who?
Trent Beretta.
No. Leave Trent.
He lost to Roderick Strong today.
But it's okay. He could lose to Roderick Strong, but Roderick Strong don't have the charisma like Trent Beretta.
What did you say? He gave him a pity win?
Yeah.
Wow. Y'all ain't right.
Why do
y'all ain't right?
Why do I feel like if Roderick Strong watching this, he's probably going to definitely ask me for a match so he could just brutalize me in front of y'all.
hey, he ain't asking me for a match. I'll take it.
Sure,
I'll watch it. I'll be in the corner laughing, eating the popcorn. Sure.
Yeah, well, I accidentally win the match and pin him.
Oh no. Well, anyway.
So we can match on CM Punk all we want, but we gotta leave Roddy alone.
Leave Roddy alone.
Oh.
Yes. Let me make my social media post where I'm crying with a bad wig on.
Going on to another match that we had tonight that was earlier on, Chris Statlander versus Emi Sakura.
That was a good match.
Yeah, it was. The match itself was decent. Emi. It was hard hitting for a women's match, which I liked.
Well, that's because you had Sakura, really.
Yes. Well, yeah. She's like she's like a powerhouse in the women's division.
Right.
Yes.
Which honestly, I think that I wish that there were more of them. I wish there were more people like that. I really do.
Yeah, you only have like
you don't see too many of them.
You have Emi, you have Nyla Rose,
or you see like the supposedly powerhouses, but they're built like a twig. It's like at least they need the look to be a powerhouse too.
Yeah, not everyone has like that Karma or Hyper Niven body where it's like you look intimidating as well as actually be so.
Yeah. And not only that, not everyone has the traps like Rhea Ripley or the insane physique of Jade Cargill.
Yeah.
Dude, Jade's abs. There are guys in the back that wish they had those abs.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, there's a reason they never put Chris Jericho in the ring next to Jade Cargill.
No, but you've got him against Sami, and Sami's pretty decent.
He is, but he's a twig.
Wow.
Yo, shots fired. Shots fired.
Oh no, he is a very fit twig, but he is very skinny. He's a very skinny boy.
Hey, it works for Ty Conti. But
wow.
But, look, overall, it was a decent.
I have things to say about that, but I will not, because that will get us kicked off the air.
Will it really? I mean, it's YouTube. Come on.
Yeah.
Yes, it would.
But I mean, it was a decent Dynamite. It's putting some things in motion for Wrestle Dream in October.
Jabronis United After Dark.
It's definitely going to be interesting to see how the Grand Slam stuff goes going forward. Obviously, we'll have stuff on Rampage and Collision leading up to the finals. And yeah, we'll just have to wait and see where things go from there. Obviously, everyone's going to hopefully do their best now that Punk's not around.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, if we hear of more drama once Punk is gone, I think that's pretty much the nail in the coffin. That's like,
yeah.
So it wasn't Punk. It's just the atmosphere in general.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. No,
So,
absolutely.
Well, it all remains to be seen. But going into predictions time, ladies and gentlemen, because we do have a pay-per-view coming out this Saturday, September 8th, coming from White Plains, New York, so just a little bit north of our territory here in Jersey. And it is going to be not for AEW. It is going to be not for WWE. But it is actually going to be for, I guess you'd say, the Green Party version of wrestling. Not that they are smokers or anything, but they're just the independent circuit as far as television goes. Impact. We're going to be talking Impact.
Too.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing. How many of us have watched Impact?
Oh, this is going to be a random pick.
Yes.
Yeah, to be fair, yes. I mean, Impact is not necessarily the most accessible show.
Well, but also not only that, the past few weeks have been very heavy AEW with the spattering of the WWE shows in between the two biggest shows, or two of the biggest shows of AEW. So it's like between that big sun there, followed by the random little stars in the sky of WWE. Right now, Impact is kind of just lost in space.
No. You're talking about in the dark part of the space.
Yes.
The black hole version.
I wouldn't say they're a black hole, but because they're at least, well, then again, black holes do produce light if we get into the science, but I'm not getting into that because it'll probably make people fall asleep because I know physics, but that's beside the point. So, but yeah, so let's just say that it is not the light, it is not the brightest light in the crayon box.
But to be fair, we are going to give it its due because we can and we should.
Yeah,
we should not go ahead and slight anybody just because they may not necessarily be as popular or as controversial as the two other brands that we talked about earlier tonight.
But they're still there.
I'm sure
and
if
they're still making money, I guess.
Wrestle Kingdom for New Japan was happening, we'd probably touch on that too, and half of us wouldn't even be able to say the names correctly. But I say that considering there's three of us, so it's a little bit harder. But
unless
so as of right now, there are 7 matches on the card for Victory Road. And let's go ahead and see what we have to work with here.
All right.
Mm-hmm. So it looks like first match is going to be former Impact champion Jason Alexander versus Steve Maclin.
Josh Alexander.
Josh Alexander.
Yes, Josh Alexander.
Jason Alexander. You know what? Out of this match, I'm going to say Jason Alexander wins the match.
Yes, that rare cash in by Jason Alexander running into the ring with his stubby little legs, taking a chair to both gentlemen. And then he screams, "Serenity now!"
Yeah. Oh dear.
But no, I mean, from what I know of AEW, I can't necessarily say anything as far as like storyline is concerned. But Josh Alexander, he has pretty much made his name in Impact.
Yeah.
So whether as a champion or when he came back, he is one of those guys that at first you probably wouldn't think is tough simply by his approach because he's got the singlet with like the little head guard and everything, like you know his like pro wrestling, more pro than wrestling. But from the matches I've seen of Josh Alexander, now you got me doing it. What I've seen of Josh Alexander,
Jimmy Alexander,
I have to pay attention to him. I have to go ahead and say he's probably going to take it over Maclin. Now, If anybody in the chat can tell me a reason why Steve Macklin would win, go ahead and post it. Again, we are not the most educated when it comes to Impact, and that is strictly on us. But if I had to do a coin flip, Alexander. So
honestly,
say you guys.
Honestly, between them, I'm going to go on the dental records alone. And as we see, Josh Alexander has many more teeth in this picture. So
That's
I'm going to pick.
part.
Well, there's probably teeth behind it. Either way, it's shinier,
There's
and
probably teeth behind it.
So I'm going to go with Josh Alexander because he has probably more teeth.
You know what?
It's like he's like going up against Ivan Yankum. It's like, come on now.
DDS.
Or Britt, yeah.
He has more teeth. And a better beard.
Yeah.
Wow. Just
Battle of the Beards.
Look.
I will say Josh Alexander. I'm going to have no choice but to say
Mr. Teeth. Dr. Teeth. Let's give a call to Dr. Muppets.
All right, so we're all going Alexander?
I think we're all going old Jason there.
Okay, fair enough.
Josh!
Jason Alexander comes in and steals the title.
It's Josh.
Now, next, we have the former Naomi, Trinity, Fatu, or just Trinity, defending her Knockouts World Championship that she won practically like about a month or two ago against Alicia Edwards. Now, knowing nothing of Alicia, I just have to go Trinity because, right now, call it like loyalty, but I loved her when she was in WWE, and I've got no reason to think that she wouldn't retain. Simple as that.
Yeah, especially with how her how her arrival was, I think it's still gonna be going. Like, this is one of the few ones that I actually do kind of have followed with the storyline. So honestly, I think Trinity's momentum's still gonna keep going.
Yeah, I couldn't even tell you if Alicia Edwards is like a face or a heel. It's like all I know is
just look at the
Trinity versus another blonde-haired, voluptuous woman. It's like that's
how I can
much
tell?
like the standard of women's wrestling. So
you know how I can tell?
Trinity is not that. I'm going Trinity.
Oh, you know how I can tell? Trinity has better teeth.
Oh my God! What? Are we learning of like a fetish of yours at this point? Like,
no, it's just you see the pictures. One person's smiling or is going and showing off his mouth guard of teeth, and while the other person is like either make a frowny face or I'm sultry face.
She's not frowny face. She's just trying to be seductive.
Hey, you didn't hear the second part. I said the seductive face or the sexy face. So, but as you can see, you can only see like 2 teeth there, while Trinity has a mouthful of teeth and showing them off. So, I'm going with the dental records again on this one. Well, Trinity has a mouthful of teeth and showing them off.
Who recorded that? Oh, send that to me. We are saving that in the files.
Teeth are up 2-0 right now.
Yes.
Teeth versus no teeth.
Like
I said, I don't know much about Impact, so I gotta pick something to go on. Well, it's like, I need something to go on.
Wow. What happened to not judging women by their appearance?
I'm judging. Hey, I judge Jason Alexander by his teeth.
Josh.
He's gonna be forever known as Jason Alexander now, and I don't care.
Right, next match.
Hey, I didn't even make my prediction.
Doesn't matter at this point.
Okay, so next match
So the day. Who's your pick?
The Rascals, with
Dr.
what I believe is the former man known as Fandango, up there in the corner, versus Motor City Machine Guns for the Impact World Tag Team Championship. Now, my history with Impact I have a good history when it comes to the Motor City Machine Guns.
Mhm.
You know, Alex Shelley, Kip Sabian, not Kip Sabian, Chris Sabin. Chris Sabin. There we go. Motor City Machine Guns are pretty much like a TNA Impact staple. However, they are an older tag team at this point.
Yes.
You know, I mean, if they've been around ever since the early days of Impact, we're talking at least a good 20 years that Shelley and Sabin have been together.
Mhm.
So great for them to still be able to do it, but are they going to be still good enough to take on a younger team who have the belts? I don't know.
Mm.
Are they doing double duty?
Who, Motor City?
Yeah,
Not that I'm aware of. What do you ask?
because isn't Alex Shelley the world heavyweight champion?
No. No, I don't think so anymore.
Oh,
We'll have to get to that later. We're finding out about Impact as we go along.
but
We're learning so much about Impact.
Yes, really. But so in this case, look, just from like a logic standpoint, I'm gonna have to go Rascals. I'm gonna go with Fandango and whoever that else is.
oh wow!
I'm sorry.
Ouch.
Look, Motor City Machine Guns can probably still go, but
Ouch.
I mean, look, just from a statistics point of view, if the champions have a resounding advantage in both youth and speed and champions advantage alone, look, they could be some shit heel champions, and all they have to do is walk away or get disqualified. You know, champions advantage holds a lot of weight, especially if you're a dick. So
Also, how big of a pay-per-view is Victory Road? That's the other thing. Is
I
this one
mean,
of their
Victory Road is pretty much one of Impact staples. It's been
one of their
around for
main
the
shows?
longest.
Yeah, yeah. It's like I know it's one of their main shows. I was just wondering if it had evolved into like their main show. But
No, I think Slammiversary is still
okay.
up there, but
Yeah,
as far as like how WWE has like their big four, I think
yeah.
Victory Road is one of Impact's big four.
Okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong, folks.
Mm.
So
That-
I'm picking Rascals. What about you two?
Motor City MCMG.
All right. Let
All
me.
right. And for
let's
you,
see.
Kyle.
For me, well, let me count the teeth.
Mind you, only one of them is showing teeth.
So in that case, I got to go with the Rascals.
And
Like,
no, I'm not
there's
picking
more
because of the
teeth
teeth.
in the picture, so I'm picking Rascals.
No. I'm not picking anyone because of teeth. I don't care about teeth. I'd be more impressed if it was Boogeyman because I know he's missing a few. All right?
I'm the boogeyman, and I'm coming to get you.
Man can eat worms, but that's because he can't chew much else. All right?
Oh, that's a way to put it.
Yeah,
Either
you want
way.
to talk about shots fired. There you go.
Yeah,
Well,
that's not
like I said, right now my predictions are are the number of teeth wins.
Okay, now this one, I'd say I can probably have a little bit more to say about it because here we're talking about two women who have been staples of Impact for like the last few years. Deonna Purrazzo versus Jordynne Grace. This is tough because both of them are great competitors in their own right. Both have been, I believe, former champions as well.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So this
Who
is
has
pretty
more
much more of
momentum
like
going
a
into
dream match sort of scenario where it's like you've got two people just simply put up against each other. Who do you think is going to get it? For my money, I'm going to go Jordynne Grace. Because, I mean, Deonna is great. Deonna is great. Make no bones about it. WWE should have never let her go.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like Deonna has now gotten to the point of like just being a good hand. Whereas the last couple of years, you've seen the rise of Jordynne.
Mm.
And you want to talk about like powerhouse women like we were talking about like with Emi Sakura? Jordynne Grace is a powerhouse.
Yes.
She got She got muscles on muscles. She looking like Ryback.
She is stacked on muscles.
Yes. And she's a short girl. I mean, compared to the rest of them. So, I mean, that just makes her stop. She's
so you can
almost
say,
got like
so
a
you can, so
Taz
you can
body.
say that she's like Heart.
Yes. Also, a very good possibility there. A good example. So, I'm going Jordine, just for like fantasy's sake. Oh, and of course, they're gonna say,
I see more teeth from Deanna, so she gets my pick.
yeah, no, I figured you were gonna see that, but because of that. Now, yeah, no, I know WWE has been looking at trying to bring in Jordynne Grace for some time, but the simple fact that she hasn't gone over yet makes me think that okay, she might be sticking around for a little bit while. If she is ready to go out to NXT, then yeah, Deanna probably will be the one to win her because in Impact and most other wrestling factions, you always say you go out on your back.
Right.
But if Jordine is sticking around for a while, I'm saying Jordine.
Okay. You ready for my response?
Sure.
Does it involve teeth?
No.
God, I hope not.
I'm gonna go with the return of Jordynne Grace.
Okay.
You're going with Jordine too, all right? Any particular reason?
Because they had shown a lot of promos of her return from, I don't know if it was injury or for hiatus.
Oh,
it makes sense.
Okay, so yep, okay.
So then, yeah, I mean, if she's going to go ahead to
That makes
NXT,
sense.
I don't think they'd be making this much of a deal about her return then.
That is very true.
Yeah, so I think just on those points alone, Jordine Grace.
Honestly, if I wasn't going by teeth, I would actually switch my logic to Jordynne Grace.
No. Deanna is barely showing anything.
There's still teeth!
My God, man.
I'm gonna stay consistent.
You have a fetish.
Hey guys,
I got a different fetish, and it's not teeth. Trust me.
Deanna Purrazzo, I would have said that because she's a Jersey native, but realistically, it would have to be Jordynne Grace.
I do agree. Realistically, it would be Jordine. So you know what? I'm gonna make a separate column for teeth predictions.
Apparently, Jeff's doing it for you already.
Thank you. All right, so we got that. So right here's the teeth thing. So I will actually change my logical pick to Jordynne Grace, but the teeth pick is still Deanna Purrazzo.
Oh, good Lord.
Shake my head.
All right. Next match.
Careful, you might get bit.
Ooh.
Those are yucky teeth.
Bully Ray versus PCO in an anything goes match. What day?
He said yucky teeth.
Yucky teeth. He needs to go see Doctor. He needs to see Dr. Britt Baker for a bit.
So if it was for me, I would say PCO.
Why PCO?
You're trying not to laugh.
If you say anything has to do with the teeth, I swear to God.
Just to grow on you, just to bother you. People look mean and grungy and dirty, while Bully Ray's looks. I'm not showing no teeth.
So ain't showing no teeth.
My God.
But
Jason Alexander comes to the ring again.
But I will say,
this time he brings Kramer with him.
I will say,
he brings more teeth.
I will say this. PCO, because this rivalry looks very unique.
But yeah, PCO is basically like a living zombie at this point, man. It's like all the stuff he goes through with his matches. How he's again, like everyone always has like that. That's what we call it. That one guy who does all the hard stuff when it comes to like anything goes, cage matches, ballroom brawls and everything. That's pretty much PCO when it comes to Impact. He is that guy. So, but the thing is, I hate Bully Ray to such an extent.
Okay.
Like, I have not liked Bully Ray since his whole aces and eights, let me marry Hogan's daughter sort of thing. It's just, I don't know what it is. Like, whatever vibe he gives off, I can't stand it. So I have to go PCO, not because of who PCO is, but just because I want to see Bully Ray bloodied.
Okay.
Okay.
No, that's fair enough.
That's fair.
Hell, it's more
Now, what
logic
about you,
than my
Kyle?
it's more logic than my teeth argument, but
Well,
no, honestly,
I mean this one's
I'm
gonna
actually picking.
test
I'm picking Bully Ray.
you, obviously.
You're breaking up.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. I think we might have lost him.
Oh no, we lost Ryan. No,
Uh-oh.
not Ryan.
Yeah, no, we lost Ryan.
No, not
Okay.
yet.
Your video completely froze.
Mhm.
It was the teeth. He couldn't handle it anymore.
Oh, damn it.
The audience.
Okay.
See.
But yes, no, it honestly because like I said, I really don't know the storyline going into this because my focus was on AEW and WWE for the past like 2 months. So going by this logic, he needs to see a friggin' dentist, so I'm picking Bully Ray.
Oh god, this is
PCO, yeah.
Sound logic,
This is
really,
hilarious.
that's great.
The logicist of logic.
All right, so
sticky of the
whatever works for you guys, fine. Yes. All right, next match. X Division champion Lio Rush defends against Kushida.
I'm going to say Lio Rush for some strange reason because he just recently got the belt.
Yeah, but we also discussed Lio Rush winning the belt back when he did win it, and my reasoning for even having Lio Rush have the championship is like, I don't know, so I'm gonna go Kushida.
Okay.
Only because, like, I feel bad for Kushida, personally. Like, he got such a raw deal over on NXT.
To be honest, all the cruiserweights got a raw friggin' deal on NXT.
Yep, facts.
They absolutely did that. Yeah, it's like I can't really fault any of them for that because that writing team just was horrendous. It's like the only time that life was brought into it was with Drew Gulak and the no fly zone. That was the best part of the cruiserweight division until Enzo Amore actually knew how to work a mic.
Right.
But it's like that's how bad that division was booked.
Right.
Now,
it's through no fault of the wrestlers. The matches were generally good.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the storylines were so bad.
Now, I will say this, given what Jeff said, I'd say the athleticism between these two guys, this really could be match of the night. Only because of the other matches that we are getting on the card so far, this feels like the most that we're going to get with two people in their prime. So, I mean, all expectation can really go ahead and be like, oh yeah, whatever they can do, they're going to do it. It's going to be like, the shackles are off.
Right.
But
so I will say Lio Rush retains, but this is going to be an awesome match.
Yes.
Right.
I am actually in agreement with Day on this one. Because there's no teeth shown, I can be logical, and I actually will go with Lio Rush.
You're not being swayed by the white gold?
But there's no teeth.
Yeah, no, there you go. All right, and for what I think is the final match of the night, Digital Media Champion Kenny King will take on Tommy Dreamer in a title versus career match. Now, Tommy has been around with Impact for quite some time. Heart and soul of ECW, as he has always stated.
Right.
But I really want him to retire at this point, so I'm giving it to Kenny King. Like, I'm not saying any love loss for Tommy Dreamer, but after what we've seen, say from like Terry Funk and all that, I am much more worried and concerned and observant of wrestlers who have done too much to their bodies to not feel like Tommy needs to take a step back now.
Thank you, sir. Can I have another?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's like, Tommy Dreamer, it's like, I've been a fan of his for ages, growing up in the tri-state area. So it's like...
Back when Paulie had hair.
Yeah, Paulie dangerously with the giant 80s cell phone.
Mhm.
But it's, personally, it's like my pick will be Dreamer because I'm a fan of his.
So you're still going to pick Dreamer to win?
I am still going to pick Dreamer to win because should his career end at Victory Road or should it end in a major match? Like,
I mean,
like for
it
the
should have
digital
ended years
media,
ago, to be
for the
honest.
digital media championship. No, it's like if he's gonna lose, let him lose in like a main title match at like a main show. And it's because remember, they did this. They did an angle like this years ago with WWE's version of ECW. Remember when Dreamer actually got that title?
True.
That was a title versus career match. Pretty much.
Yeah, but
it was
also
like
on a fake
I got to win the
ECW,
title before
so
the end of the month or something like that.
I don't think it would have it wouldn't have been as cathartic considering the ECW that Vince McMahon made.
Oh no, it's absolutely garbage of a title.
Right.
It was an absolute garbage thing, but that storyline has been done. That's the point.
Now
And
the thing is, Impact has been
about that.
good about like showcasing a hardcore
Yes.
division and
Yes.
having
So-
hardcore ECW throwback associated pay-per-views.
Yeah.
So the fact that Tommy's been around for quite some time, either in front of the camera or behind the camera, it kind of feels like,
Oh yeah.
look,
He's definitely
are we
winding
going
down.
to do another career match for Tommy later on?
Or
No, probably not.
or no, he'll just have a final match. Like let him go off into the sunset on a bigger show than this. So even if he loses the digital media championship later on, that's fine. But it's like I think they'll give him like at least I hope they would give him a last hurrah tour. Like give him like between this one and the next one, have that one be his go off into the sunset tour.
Here's the thing, Kyle. To be fair, we as not loyal Impact watchers, he may have been on this tour for the past few months now. We just don't know it.
Not really. But it's like, it's like I'd like to see him do a last hurrah personally. So that's why I'm picking him, regardless of teeth.
All right.
Don't worry, I've already marked down Kenny King as the winner for the teeth category.
So he's got the best teeth?
Kenny King's got the best teeth. Oh no, my spreadsheet has a separate column for teeth right now.
Oh my god.
So But I'm picking Tommy Dreamer on this one.
Day, what about you?
ECW, Living Legend, WWE,
Legend.
Legend.
The other question is, how many ECW originals are there left?
That's a good question, but
well, I mean, we know Rob Van Dam is kicking around over at AEW.
Yeah, more, but someone who's more in an active match role. Like we got
Bully
Ray,
I mean, he was an Impact just as long as Tommy's been with his
his
girlfriend like we got and him and her being like porn stars and everything. That much I remember.
Yeah, but yeah, it's like you got Bully Ray, you got Tommy Dreamer, you got RVD, and Sabu's still jumping off a chair somewhere. But other than that,
yeah, you want to talk about retirement.
So I will say this. As much as a lot of us want to see a hurrah moment, I don't think this is going to be the last time we're going to see Tommy Dreamer. I think he's going to win the belt. Tommy is going to win. But what's going to retire is that digital media championship, and he's going to make it into the hardcore championship, and then do a hoorah moment.
Okay, so instead of just picking a winner for the match, now you're actually writing storyline.
Speaking truth.
I just said, and I quote, Tommy Dreamer will not lose his career. He will win the championship. He's going to change the name. Do you understand, Ryan?
And then he'll retire.
Then he will retire. He's going to do his last hurrah with the title, and whoever beats him for the title, which is probably going to be a hardcore belt, and that's when we're going to say bye-bye, Tommy Dreamer.
Okay, so here's the thing.
Another.
Here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
If that is Day's choice, then that means if Tommy wins the belt but never changes it, that's still a loss for Day.
No. It's just a match pick. Because remember,
I was only asking for the match pick. I wasn't asking for like the bloodline version of
Tommy
this.
Dreamer.
I did say Tommy Dreamer.
And he's going above and beyond.
Yes,
it's kind of like saying that we're going to think that
pressure has gone above and beyond. All right.
It's like the pick of someone winning and then saying that then someone's going to cash in the Money in the Bank contract.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't count that as a wrong answer because the match itself ends a certain way.
Right. Thank you.
All right. So you're both picking Tommy.
We are picking Tommy.
Whereas I at least want to put the man to peace so he can spend the rest of his time with his family and, not be peeing out blood. So,
are you talking about Monique Dupree? You talking about Monique Dupree?
Well, we already know Ryan's picking Kenny King because of the teeth. So
yeah, right.
No.
Hey, Ryan,
picking Kenny King because Kenny King is Kenny King.
No, Ryan, you talking about Monique Dupree?
Renee Dupree.
No, Monique Dupree.
Yeah.
Why you quiet, Ryan?
What about Monique Dupree?
You talking about his family, right? Monique Dupree, right?
I'm talking about his kids.
Monique Dupree II.
On that note, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know about Monique Dupree, she used to be, I think she's his manager at the House of Hardcore.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And far as I know, they should be still in a relationship.
Which is fine. I mean, Francine has been doing plenty over the years, but, I'm more worried about children and grandchildren. I ain't worried about, husbands and wives because, look, they got into that situation when they got married. They knew what the score was. Yep. But the kids, it's always the kids that suffer. I'm thinking of the children. Not being selfish like you guys with your teeth fetish.
I don't have a teeth fetish, so I wasn't talking about teeth. I was just I was teasing you.
All right. So anyway, we have our picks locked in, and that is settled as far as Impact Victory Road. Again, you can find that on their website. You can watch it through Fight. It's a standard pay-per-view sort of fare, so go ahead, check it out. If anyone happens to be a fan of Impact and we goofed on anything story-wise or information-wise, definitely let us know in the comments. With all that said, I think that does it for another show. But
Check down below.
I'm getting to that. But if you also are looking for things outside of wrestling, we here at Stream Punk Entertainment are offering you a very exclusive opportunity. On September 23rd of this year, we are going to be helping to host our first MMA attraction that is going to be Danger Zone. And for just $10, especially if you go ahead to the little QR code or go to the website down below and get your 10% discount on the ordering for this, for just $10, at this point, you are going to be able to watch 19 MMA matches. That's more than what you'll get with UFC. That's more than what you'll get with Bellator. And let's face it, like 19 times for people to have like their stuff crushed in, it's a pretty good deal.
Okay.
There's a lot of fights for $10, especially compared to the $50 that you pay for an AEW pay-per-view. For $10 whole dues, you get more fights on a card. Ones that usually end in blood.
Yes, lots of great
and
up-and-coming mixed martial artists
and broken
here for your
body
entertainment.
parts, broken legs, broken arms,
broken teeth.
All for your entertainment, ladies and gentlemen.
38 people going into the ring, half of them coming out not the way they came in. And hey,
they go from this
I know it's not
this.
Scary season per se yet, but you'll probably get more blood that way than you will in most of the horror movies coming out this year.
More blood than a dentist's office.
More blood than a
He had to pull in the. He's still on the teeth. How did he do that? I can't believe he did that. My God.
Halloween sequence.
Maybe someone will get knocked out. Who knows? Damn it. But yes, go check out the QR code up here in the corner right here. Go ahead, get your 10% discount to order your tickets in advance, or simply go to the website you see down below in the crawl, moment.co/dangerzone, and get your tickets today. With that said, that has been another week of wrestling information, predictions, reactions, and everything in between. So for Major Day, Boosie, Sniper Kyle Krieger, and myself, the realer deal, Ronald Regan, we are Jabronis United. Stay humble. And check your teeth.
Major Day, ladies and gentlemen, not Bussy D.